Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Athena Championship. You're back with me again. And oh my goodness, look at this magic trick. I had Joy K first, then I had Pets, and now I have Jinxie Cat. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me back.
Yes, that's true. We got the opportunity to cast amazingly in the first season of Athena Championship, we would say. And it was really, really good. And I'm so happy and delighted to have you back with me today. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, again, thanks so much. It's super exciting. I've been able to follow a little bit more closely this time, so I'm really, really stoked to see what we have in store for our games coming up.
Yes, and the games that we have coming up now, we are casting the Olympian side of the division, which is the lower division. But these are the two best performing teams. We did get to cast Hestia earlier; we did see them, and they're back here in what somewhat we can say the finals. And we have Team Clio, which first time we're seeing them, and we're being taken to the first map, which is Sky Temple. I'm really excited to see this game to be cast because Sky Temple is not a popular map and it is very backdoory. There's a lot of cheese strats and I'm so all up for it. I'm really excited to cast this game.
Yeah, me too. They just had some Morales buffs, reinforcements at level
Mhm.
10. So lots of different ways that it can be played. Of course, you can play a standard. I always make the joke, when folks bring us to Sky Temple, I say, oh, I didn't realize you guys hated fun, just because you're right, it is an unpopular map. And there are a lot of spicy things you can do, though. So I'm excited to head into this draft.
Hi, I am very super excited to cast this game. This is the first game of the series between Team Clio and Team Hestia. Those of you guys who are joining, Athena Championship is a all-women's tournament where teams compete against each other in the best of three to decide the ultimate champion winner. We are casting the Olympian series, and these two teams, Team Clio and Team Hestia, are the best performing teams in the Swiss tournament that was set up for them. So basically, you could see this as the finals and seeing who truly is the top dog.
All righty, we're gonna see Vala band away right out the start. That's no surprise.
Oh,
And Sagara, we've been hoping to see her all day, but I don't believe she's been let through once after those
no.
buffs. She's very, very strong right now, and this is at one of the maps where she really shines. So get her out of here.
Never thought I'd see the day with Zergara's top pick and top ban. That's pretty crazy considering how long we've been playing this game. We do see that Sonya is being banned out as well. Very scary lady with those big leaps, those big spears, and those big splash damage on the Ws.
Absolutely. One of the heroes that can get a little bit of value outside of the objective, of course. Not the same as, say, like an Infernal Shrine. You're still going to want to look for to grab those objectives. But, of course, her being able to hold down the lanes makes her quite a force to be reckoned with. So as we're finishing up here, Diablo going to be taken away. See, it's a little bit more play these days. So always just a really strong tank to get out. Really denies that engage. And it makes sense as Purple's going to lock in that Stitches.
Yes, Fatty Stitches boy getting picked up here. We did get to see a couple of one Stitches gameplay earlier today on the Heroes Lounge channel, and it was fantastically played with great hooks and great gorges. So I wonder what ultimate will be picked up. In response, Eves has picked up Anduin to pull and save teammates and allies. Or in the case of Anduin gets hooked, to pull an ally to him.
I go down, you go down with me. But we could actually see it as we're going to see Alex Strauss grab the Tychus. But Lucio and Asmodan coming in here. Lots of push, lots of speed boost. Leads me to believe that we will see the Gorge. We'll just have to see, what the rest of the members of Team Clio is looking like.
All right. On the side, just to disrupt the drafting discussion, I would like to point out that you can now place bets, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to bet for Team Clio, it is Team A. And if you want to bet for Team Hestia, it is Team B. You do it by writing exclamation point bet, spacebar A or B, spacebar the amount of points you want to place, as Jack Sully has perfectly demonstrated it in the chat.
Alrighty, folks, get your bets in as we're going to see Ragnaros banned out here. Just a little bit more time, but it's going to be Garrosh taken away. Really just trying to get that Stitches all the freedom of movement that he can to get turned in with that Lucio.
Potato Keeney, that name, that username, I absolutely love it. She has picked up Lucio once more. Hopefully, there won't be any Kael'thas Pyroblast chasing after her booty this time, as I was casting earlier. It was so sad to see the poor Lucio Pyroblasted over and over again.
That can be a really hard one, especially since, High Five has been really the go-to. It was recently nerfed, so you're no longer unstoppable, and you no longer heal when you're kind of backhanding the enemy team. We're going to see Everhart and May come in here with Princess Vivid grabbing that May, and then, of course, Jaina to try and slow him down. This time, though, it looks like they've learned their lesson, grabbing Kael'thas for themselves. So looking to try and Pyroblast that pretty squishy backline on the side of Team Clio.
Yeah, Team Clio pretty squishy, but at the end of the day, it is also big damage. Tychus with the Jaina buffs recently coming through. I'm so happy and delighted to see Jaina back in the meta. I don't know if she's like high tier prio meta, but she has been drafted a lot and she is being picked up a lot, and I absolutely am up all for it. She used to be such a fantastic mage, and seeing her being played again back in the meta is something I've longed to see once more. Grad picking up Leoric as the last pick on the side of Team Clio for that double soak and some percentage damage on his sucky suck. I should learn what that ability is called, because I really don't know. I just called it the sucky suck.
It's Drain Hope.
Thank you very much.
The official name. I mean, it's a lot better than mine. I've always lovingly referred to it as the spooky ghost grope, which is completely inappropriate.
The ghost that's harassing you. Oh my god. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, as a tank, man, it's frustrating. You're trying to go in, and there's the ghost, and he's feeling you up, and you're just like, please let me do my job. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. All right. All right, as we heading on in, just gonna glide right past that one. Over here on the side of our blue team here, we have Team Clio with Princess Vivid on that May. Alex Straza will be your Tychus. Eves on the Anduin Grad will be your Jaina. And, of course, Leoric will be played by... just kidding. Grad is Leoric, Alex Straza is Tychus, Everhart is Jaina, Eves Anduin, Princess Vivid. Got there in the end. Alrighty, let's rock and roll.
And on the side of the red team, we have Fictional playing Asmodan, Perp on the Stitches, Fanati on the Kael'thas, Potato Keeney once more on the Lucio, and Kurbani on the Fiery Blaze. Apologies for the camera issues. I had a thing to deal with. All right, we are back in the game. The standard brawl to get the vision camp on the top side, and it goes over to the side of the blue team. Grad being brave and standing up on all over it.
Always breaks my heart when they don't fight over the vision, but sometimes you actually want to win the game instead of feeding in the first 10 seconds. So Purple going to take a little bit of damage there. It looks like we're going to see just mostly all about that wave clear. We're going to lose one minion there, but they'll be able to grab it on the way back. Bonnie already just chunking down there. And interestingly enough, we see Blaze in the bottom. We see Asmodan up versus Leoric. So really trying to get the value out of that, lane swap.
Yeah, very interesting choice to put Fictional in top lane. I guess it's to throw off the enemy team as well, but also, melees will always struggle into a ranged matchup, so it might be like a big brain strat here. We do see the blue team taking the bot side siege camp, but Purple...
Oh no. Ends up helping out there.
I like it though. That was really good. Imagine if they had taken the other side, and that could have been a hook on an enemy. It was a really nice shout. But the red team have decided to stop taking the camp because they were worried about an invade. They understand that their comp is very weak at the moment in early game, so they're giving these little things away. They need to, because they are very vulnerable.
That's going to play out better in the long run there. If you get behind early, it can be very hard to come back on Sky Temple. So right now, just going to eat what they have to. You see a great dash there by Kurbani. Princess Vivid getting a little bit low there. Now, May has been considered the counter into Stitches, so we'll have to see how this does end up playing out. But right now, he's getting a pretty good chunk out of her.
Level 4 is coming out, but for both sides of the teams. We do see a different build on Jaina coming out here. We have Lingering Chill and Arcane Intellect. This is probably the more meta build before the buffs that came out in the most recent patch, but still I believe it's very viable and it has a good percentage win rate. Blaze did manage to push in the bot side and get a lot of value by denying XP on the side of the blue team, and also is taking the camp, but Kerbani is a little bit slow in taking the camp, as Blaze isn't known for being the ideal camp taker.
Absolutely. It's going to be a little bit of a delay there. However, going to contribute to some XP in the end. Leo is headed down as well. Both teams have grabbed their bruiser camps and are now looking to compete over these shrines. Brad already getting some nice soak down in the bottom. Everybody looking to clear these bruisers, trying to fight in that spell armor. And finally, Fnati gonna finish up to help Blaze. And that is going to be the advantage for the moment over to the side of Team Clio.
Team Hestia does get the channel in the mid side, while Team Clio gets the channel in the top side. Trading temples is a valid strat in Sky Temple. Why is it a valid strat? Because you're just going even, you're not risking anything, and everything is fine. But Grad is being very confident here, stepping up and trying to take some of the percentage, but Kael'thas is there to support Purple in all his deeds.
Going to continue to trade out there. And right now, with that camp pushing in, we're going to see Team Clio get the advantage. We have Kerbani and Fictional able to clear up relatively fast up here. Brad, of course, getting that extra level 7 talent. We're going with the ice flows. Now, this was changed recently. It is no longer bugged for people who may cry out, hey, what's up with picking the talent? But Blizzard was able to pass that out. So we're going to look for that proper CDR. And, I'm really excited to see it play. This is my first time seeing it played out. It's, great combo there. Down goes Blaze.
And it does get played out there with the Jaina burst. Absolutely annihilating and bursting the Blaze. This is why Blaze is not very popular as a main tank anymore, because he is just that little bit too squishy. The first fort goes over onto the side of the blue team as they secure the top side. But they're almost trading, the red team is almost trading with the mid fort as it pops extremely low as well. Stitch is getting that soak on the bot side. Really nice pressure on all sides of the map. And Azmodan, with his passive trait, with his trait that summons a demon and can push in towers, he will eventually be able to get mid, especially if the blue team just give up one wave at any point in the game.
Really hard to just try and keep an eye on that. We can expect that Team Hestia will look to grab that eventually. Not the most pressing matter right now. You can see they're going to try and look down in the bottom. Big combo coming out onto Purple, who will end up going down there. Lots of damage onto Princess Vivid. Able to be healed up thanks to that Ando in there. And with no front line, the members of Hestia have to back up. Ooh, big stun coming in. Nobody told them that. Maybe that Blizzard follow up. And once again, just going to end up losing this wall here, it looks like.
Really nicely done there, but Blaze wants to try and catch another one. Alex Straza doing a lot of percentage damage on Kerbani. Has to run away. Lucio using amping up to save the Blaze. Stitch is coming back into the mid lane to get that soak, as Azmodan is getting the stacks on the top side. 90 stacks out of 400 so far. Just a little bit behind what is ideal. It is very difficult when Azmodan isn't able to double soak and get stacks with the help of his team.
Absolutely. Not able to get any of those hero stacks by the looks of it based on what we've gotten just yet. Once they get to 200, they'll be sitting a lot prettier there. I'm curious to see if we're going to go for more of a split push style Azmodan, or if it's going to be more of a team fight. Actually, as I say that, we're going to take a look at this Art of Chaos here. So it's the extra mana to help him push down. Still anywhere to go. Level 10 is online. And this should once again just be a camp invade by the side of blue team here.
They have a whole level and a little bit of an advantage, but level 10 almost coming in for the red team, so they are going to look for an engagement. Oh, nice hook on Everheart there by Purple. In a panic to peel for her DPS, Princess Vid does use the ice. Well, really nicely placed, to be honest. Like, that is a really fast reaction there by the Mei to ensure that her Jaina lives to see another day in case the red team decided to follow up on that.
Absolutely. We do have our quest being finished here, which interestingly enough, we actually have the party mix coming out for Lucio, and then of course the new habits for Blaze. So they do have that Unstoppable available with level 10s on. Perfect timing. They have the cleanse. And I'm curious, does new habits break the slow of combustion? Oh, we're gonna have to hold that thought for a little bit as Ring of Frost comes out. There's the combustion. Purple is very, very low. Princess Vivid, though, will find Stitches. Phoenix comes out. They're trying to find May. Alex Straws it low in the back, but Eve's under no pressure, able to keep everybody healed up. Fictional has come down with the Asmodan. For the time being, a big chunk taken out of the front line, but nobody going down just yet.
Nobody going down just yet, but it was the only and one Stitches who did fall down. Doesn't have the gold quest, has Patchwork Creation at level 1 with the increased healing. Really nice engage by Corbani there on Princess Vid, popping extremely low. Nice CC chain, but the May, oh lord, that's stunned by May with the follow-up Jaina Blizzard. That is toxic. That is toxic. Fanati, you ain't getting out of there. You
Oof.
ain't not getting out of there.
Nothing they could do there. They still don't have that level 1 finish with the
Oh.
Mana Addict. Oh no! Everybody just being cleaned up there. It's sort of a soft ace as Stitches has just returned. They're definitely down. You're going to see Purple head to that middle lane and then head up top to try and soak before the team's boss is being started here. They're down talent. Nothing can be done. So they're just going to have to let this push in.
Really nice shot calling here, taking the boss as soon as they finished the bot objective and secured a couple of kills. The blue team is able to shred it with Jaina's damage and Tychus's damage as well with his auto attacks. They're going to take the camp on boss side. Now, I always have this thing where if you don't push with the boss, there was no point of taking the boss kind of thing, kind of strat. So I would love to see the blue team step up here and actually push a little bit with the boss, even if it is only a wall. And they listen to me. They can hear me. God bless.
And the Secret's going to come around. They get the ice wall. They separate Kerbani and actually manage to catch KT here. The Unstoppable coming out. Boss coming through. Oh, no, it's not enough as both of them go down. Caught just a little bit far out. Great play there by Princess Vivid. Odin coming down as well. This is a very rough early game here for Hestia. Mid-game as well. We'll see if anything come through. They find the hook. There's the light realm on a Princess. They're catching 2 more.
Oh,
great use of the cleanse. Oh, it's looking rough for him, though.
Princess Vid doing so much work with her May, absolutely CCing and destroying the backline and the front line. She is setting up stuns, she is peeling for her team, and she's doing incredible damage and setup. Like, just doing everything. Really good job. And it is so difficult and so oppressive to deal with a good May because she counters so many heroes in Heroes of the Storm, and learning how to outplay her is a very, very difficult and painful skill.
Absolutely. You can see it's really struggling to find the kills here. And I think a big part of that is swapping Asmodan and Blaze, because while you have a lot of wave clear and you have a lot of beef in that front line, they have the Tychus, so it is really chunking down on that front line. And then the damage just isn't there. They're going to try and find Brad. But of course, Leoric, the hardest hero to gank in the game. The hook does not connect. But for the time being, since they are so low, this will be the bottom temple going over to Hestia.
The bottom, they are trading right now, and this is not a good situation for the red team. Trading in this situation that they're in, where their keeps down already, isn't ideal, but there's nothing they can do. They're level 13 versus level 16, level 14 right now. They have to get XP somewhere, and with the lanes pushed in and top side and mid side, there is an opportunity to gain it a little bit back. Stay defensive. Try and get the soak as much as possible. Let the lanes push in and take a fight at level 16 is the only advice I could possibly give them right now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a hard one. Especially just considering right now, Team Clio, they never have to engage with the enemy team if they don't want to. They just get those temples and they can win. We are going to see them come and look for this top keep. Brad is very low. Odin has been dropped. Big chunking coming out there from Asmodan with the Black Pool. However, Kabani going to look for the play down to 16. They need to potentially make something happen here. Grabbing all the ults. We're going to find the hook. Unstopped comes out from Princess Vid. Great use of the Leap of Faith. For now, the keep will stay alive. Ice Wall catching a couple of members, but it combines with the Ring of Frost. There's the follow-up. There's the Entomb. So much happening here right now. Combustion coming in. Fictional is low. Aspen, the first to fall. Grat is just making everybody null and void with that ominous Wraith. And the keep stays alive, but at the cost of Fictional's life.
Very unfortunate there. That looked like such a clutch situation there, and Asmodan lived for so long, but the Entomb well placed by the Leoric in this case, and isolated the rest of the team. Potato, Kina, Purple, and Fnatic up on the top lane, trying to get that XP. The blue team on the bot side, absolutely dominating these team fights, taking objectives on point on the objectives, and their CC chain is just incredible. I believe that this Jaina May setup is in particular very difficult to deal with by the red for the red team.
They have a lot of really immobile heroes. If you get slowed like that, it's just devastating. Comboed with the Blizzard, you know, the stun. There's so much going on. Extra damage, extra CC. Right now they need to play off of a pick. We do have Vile. They can slow themselves. But the big thing for Hestia is they need to get out these hooks. They find Jaina there. There's the stun. Ice Wall comes out. There's going to be a lot of damage coming in. So many heroics being used. Ring of Frost, Lice Bomb, Evermark is still low. Purple, though, the only one in the back. And Tomb is dropped. Big Stun from Blaze Combust comes out. We may see some kills on the board for Hestia. They're trying. Great use of the Lucio heroic there, but he ends up going down. The girls running for their life. Not going to be enough. Alex Straza claiming a third member. Brad looking for more, and we might be looking at the beginning of the end here.
This looks like the beginning of the end, all right, as they take 4 members of Team Hestia down, rotating bot side, taking that camp, and already a camp pushing on the core with some catapults, taking the shield down. Core already 74%. Oh!
They're on the board!
Where's May? I swear there was a May there. I promise you. 2 seconds ago, I saw a May over there.
Feels Asmodan, is it gonna be enough? Fictional is chunking, the hook comes through onto Anduin. It may not be enough. Jaina has finally got that back. Fictional goes down. It's just Purple here. There are 4 members on the core. It is falling fast. Level 20s online. That is gonna be game number 1 going over to Team Clio.
GGWP. Team Clio take the first game of the series, but it is not all over yet for Team Hestia as they have an opportunity to come back in this best of 3. We're going to just have some stats up here just to compare damage, siege, and start pointing fingers and blaming people, because that's what people do in Storm League apparently.
Well, it's got to be your fault, because otherwise it's my fault, and I don't like that.
Exactly. We do see that the damage stats aren't that much. Like, the Jaina has the same amount of damage as the May, even though I felt like what was really oppressive was the Jaina and May. But looking at the pure stats, Tychus almost double the damage of the Jaina because of that passive, shredding that front, because they're really, the red team is really beefy, right? They've Blaze as the solo laner, Stitches as the main tank, and then Asmodan as their DPS. He's a fat boy. He's a chunky boy.
I think the big hard thing for Team Hestia here is they had a lot of burst damage, which Anduin typically does well into. They were playing off of the hook. They didn't really have Asmodan there, so they could take, you know, short bursty fights where they press all their cooldowns and they run away. But Team Clio had the Tychus to do the extra damage, Jaina for the burst, secure the kill, and as such, they were able to stay in those team fights longer and claim victory.
That is very, very true indeed. I will be popping. Oh, I want to look at the match lounge to see where they were. Trans, what match lounge are we in? Thank you. Very professionally done there. Team Hestia has opted for picking map rather than getting first pick, because if the team loses the first game, they decide which map they go on. They decide if they have first pick or first map. They decide to go on to Dragonshire, which is a control point map. What does that mean? That means that the solo lane or the solo offlane pick here is super important. It is not enough just to be wave clear. It is a solo lane where you need to win, which I really like. And we might see potential like spicy picks coming out, globals, assassins for rotations, melee assassins, which I'd be really excited to see if they pick that.
We don't get to see too many of the melee assassins anymore, and I absolutely love them. You know, I want to see your Kerrigans, your Maevs, Thralls. We see a little bit more, but yeah, you know, I'm really surprised we didn't see any globals coming through in the last set. But you know, Brightwing, Falstad, Dahaka, all very great heroes. So potentially see a little bit more of those. We did see some Dahaka buffs recently, so I have hope for our big Dino boy.
That being said, Fictional, I casted earlier today, and Fictional did play Dahaka on Cursed Hollow in a game this morning, and absolutely, these tongues, so good. The tongue action was impressive, securing kills, getting people off guard, stopping channels, interrupting abilities, really well played and very oppressive. And even though Dahaka doesn't win a whole lot of matchups in a 1v1 situation, here's the thing. Dahaka can always back up and get HP back and Zed back into lane immediately. So it doesn't lose soak, doesn't lose XP. Or, different situation, you want to take a 5v4 fight very quickly in the bot lane. Dahaka uses his passive trait, Zed's down into the bot lane, and gets the pick off and secures it. There are ways to play the solo lane, even if you lose the solo lane. So I absolutely would love to see a Dahaka pick here. You're absolutely right.
Have to see what the teams are thinking about. The macro from Team Clio in game number 1 was absolutely insane. So I'd like to see Hestia, try and keep a little bit more of an eye on that. If somebody's missing from the map, where could they be? Look for the invade on your off lane who's just doing something by himself, because that's how you can really turn those kind of plays against them. And your globals can help. Send a Falstad in, send a Brightwing in. Tahaka's a little bit trickier because he needs a bush, but obviously still something you can do. Otherwise, there's some interesting things you can pick up here. For example, Zul'jin, at least over on the NA server, has become quite popular just because he can chunk down that dragon and stack his quest so incredibly quickly, even if you are behind on the objective.
Absolutely. Things like Chromie as well fit into that kind of idea that you could pick Chromie for the bot control, and but also if you lose the first objective, she can stack easily onto the Drake, whether she goes W or Q build. If she does go those quests, same with Cassia. Any quest heroes right now in Heroes of the Storm are very good on these kind of maps and objectives. Usually the strat on this kind of map is to have a very strong solo laner top lane and have a very solid rotating 3-man, and then a range DPS in the bot lane that can control the point. Things like Deathwing, Junkrat. So I wonder if the teams are going to go for that strat. It's a very standard play, but I wonder if people are thinking about this and thinking about how to outdraft that. So it would be exciting to see some picks like Junkrat, like Deathwing, so that they control the bottom point.
Absolutely. We'll have to see, as it looks like we're just about ready to get started. And you bring up a good point. I feel like Junkrat is really underutilized. We're seeing him a little bit more these days, but just really, really powerful. At least in NA. I'm not 100% sure.
He's pretty popular in EU. I'm surprised he's not popular in NA.
Yeah, all the time, you see somebody hover a Junkrat, and we're like, nobody wants that, unless you're playing as like a 5-stack. Then he's a little bit more common. So, yeah, we get to see some Junkrat. I'm super hype. Definitely caught myself there. I was almost like, yeah, let's see some junk. I'm ready for it.
Honestly, I personally don't like Junkrat, and the reason, I don't like playing against the Junkrat. Let's be honest. As a tank main, Junkrat is such a piece of scrap. I like what I put in there. He's so toxic to deal with his traps and then his boops, and it's just so annoying to deal with. So it is a very oppressive pick, but it is a good pick nonetheless. In terms of tanks, I do expect to see a Stitches pick again, because Stitches is very strong on this map with these hooks. With the short lane on the objective, you can really pull someone, especially after 13, you can really pull someone from the objective point on the bot side right into the tower shots. Which is a way to turn the fight. If you can get the towers to participate in the team fight, it really helps out.
That's true. Fun fact, the towers are the only remaining things from our time in HGC, so they're still quite good. I say that mostly for, like if you're in any of my Storm League games, folks don't necessarily seem to know that, and then they're surprised when they die. So, use those towers to your advantage. Don't walk under your enemy's towers.
Very good advice, Jinxie, for Heroes of the Storm and for life. As we're going into game number 2, Team Clio versus Team Hestia. Team Hestia did lose the first game, and it is their opportunity to have a Giga comeback. We do see a respect ban coming out here with Kael'thas. They don't want to be dealing with those living bombs. No. They don't want to be spreading it around.
You love to see it. That's definitely deserved, I think. Get me out of here. The zoning was just insane. I always really like when a team is playing for who's playing from behind goes map pick, because we always talk about how strong first pick is. I don't think a lot of folks talk about how strong last pick is. You've seen everything you have to deal with. You can kind of try to plan your strategy around that. And then if you're picking map, you usually have kind of some idea of a plan, what you want to go in with. So we're going to see another respect ban here. And sometimes that can really put the enemy team on the back foot.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And especially on a map like Dragonshire, where we're speaking about how the solo lane is so oppressive. Because if you go with map pick, you have last pick to counter the solo lane. Ladies and gentlemen, Zagara got through. Everyone hold on to anything you can grab right now. This is the moment.
Yeah!
Let's go, team!
Do they have a plan? Ragnaros coming through. Can do quite well in Zagara just because your meatball can clear the creep. And, you know, if you can actually get on top of her, you can get a good bonk in with the Sulfurous.
Yeah, the Ragnaros pick, knowing that Zagara is probably in the off lane, is a really good pick. But you know what? I would love to see, now that Zagara has been picked, a really good counterplay to Zagara, or in the past, I used to pick, was Illidan. Albeit, I don't know if there'll be a lot of players who will pick up Illidan, and he is quite non-meta at the moment. It is an interesting counter pick to play, but still a mechanical matchup. We do see Stukov and Lunara being picked up here by Alexstrasza and Eves. Really well played by Eves on Anduin in the last game. Now taking up the Russian dead soldier. Is he dead? He's revived. He's evil now.
He's infested. You know, he's like a parasect, kind of.
Zombie.
Close enough. I'm gonna see the Stitches ban, this time from the side of Team Hestia there. Stukov Stitches, classic combo. Lunara, lots of slow damage here, as once again, Diablo is going to be banned out. And I'm curious what ways the teams are going to go with this. Anduin, really good into burst. He's also very good into slow damage as well.
Absolutely, you're correct. Johanna is going to be picked up here with Hestia. Fantastic pairing, and is a pairing that we consistently see here in Heroes Lounge and in the Athena Championship today. Johanna and Hestia being picked up together in the same rotation. We do see Everhard picking up the Hogger for the solo lane instead of Zagara in the solo lane, which is fine because Zagara is still a vulnerable solo laner because she has no sustain. So it's absolutely understandable that she's being picked up to be in the 4-man here. And the final tank pick, Princess Vid, is actually going to pick up Blaze. I've spoken about it in the past. Blaze is a little bit weak as a main tank, even though I still play him as a main tank. But you are squishy. You need to be careful. You need to land those stuns. And the minute you're in trouble, you need to get the hell out of there.
Absolutely. Did receive some nerfs in the last patch. In fact, a lot of these heroes did. Interesting one that I don't think a lot of folks know is Stukov recently got a change that when you go... Oh gosh, I can't think of the talent name. It used to be Spine Launcher, but you can now toggle the range on and off there. So Malthael coming in to deal with the off lane. And I'm not sure which draft I like better here as we're getting ready to head on in.
Yes. Ladies and gents, make sure to place your bets in the chat. Team A is Team Clio and Team B is Team Hestia. Exclamation mark bet, whatever Team A, Team B, and then the points you want to place. We finally get to cast a Zagara game that got through the drafts and the bans. It's going to be very exciting to see Grad play it here. We're also interested to see what is the offlane here, because like both teams pick 2 off lanes each, so they could like spice it up and mix it up here.
That's a good point. I honestly didn't even realize there was Malthael came out. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Off lane last pick. But there's a lot you can do. Again, I think the Zagara is going to have a hard time putting down the creep into Ragnaros. However, you know, given if they put Hogger in the 4-man and leave Zagara up top, I think this is going to be a great double tank down on the bottom because Blaze and Hogger both do an insane amount of damage.
All right, we are going to game number 2. Team Clio versus Team Hestia. Team Clio, we have Princess Vid playing the Blaze, Alexstrasza. Oh, almost Alexstrasza. On Lunara, Grad playing Zagara, Eves on the Stukov, and Everhard playing the Hogger.
10 seconds.
You're realizing that I said Alexstrasza the entire time and botched it. Let's head on in as we got Fictional on that Malthael. Potato Kenny will be your Anduin. Cassia will be played by Fnatic. We are going to see Kermani on that Ragnaros. And of course, down on that Johanna, it is going to be our favorite friend. As soon as everything moves purple, there we go. Got there in the end. They're actually playing an interesting bottom lane attack here.
Don't be suspicious, they say. Giving up that mid lane soak, which is kind of scary though, but they're looking to maybe catch off and get the kill instead, maybe. I'm not too sure where the shout is, but they need to catch that mid XP, otherwise they're going to follow behind already from the beginning of the game. Nice attempt by Potato Bikini to get the grad, but a really nice stun by the vid onto Potato Bikini. The rest of the blue team trying to follow up. Purple popping a little bit low, has to pop her trait, but her trait is gone.
Yeah, you know, I was hoping to see a little bit more here, but they didn't even go for the tower. You know, typically you'll see the tower cheese with like a Sylvanas, but it seems the plan here was kind of lose that middle soak and then fight down in the bottom. They're down a little bit now, but actually managed to climb ahead in the XP for the time being as they finally send Malthael up to the top lane and Rag grabs that middle soak.
Right, well, now that the solo lane has actually finally been decided, it is going to be Hogger and Maltha in the solo lane. Alex Astra popping a little bit low here. Purple, oh, finds a really nice flank here onto the Grudge. Nice stun onto the Ragnar so that Kiribani can't follow up and do damage to the Zagara. Purple popping a little bit low, has to walk away. Really nice healing by Potato Keeney, getting the root out there onto the Blaze so that he couldn't do any more nasty engages.
Everybody just kind of hanging out for the moment. Eve's keeping an eye on that aggressive bush. Electra will just continue to try and poke away. Up in the top, it's our coolest and most attractive players. We're going to see Hogger take quite a bit of a pounding from Fictional there, as they're actually going to have to end up hearthing back. Down in the bottom, though, it's a bloodbath. This isn't going to be enough. It's not, as Purple goes down.
Purple does go down. That oppressive damage by Zagara is just so horrible to deal with. On top of that, the Lunara toxic poison spreading as well and consistently slowing the Johanna. So until she has straight up, she really can't move. She's not allowed to move. Grad doing a lot of poking, a lot of damage. Let's look at the talents of Zagara, actually, now that we mention it. She has gone for Volatile Acid on level 1 and Envenomed Spines on level 4.
Gonna look here. Another thing to mention while we're checking out talent is Divine Fortress actually coming through for Johanna. She has lost 5% of that max health due to her death there. Now we do have a couple of things to help out. Of course, the biggest one being Hold Your Ground. Fictional, though, gonna be able to grab this early dragon, no problem, as nobody was left to defend mid.
Nobody was left to defend mid, but Vid was popping extremely low into the boss side and looked very spicy here. We see Alex Straza and Princess Vid poking down Purple. Purple walking away into the mid lane, grabbing the soak along the way like a strategic tank player. Dragon Dragon kicking the Blaze.
Oh, could it be a little bit of body kill.
Nice kick by Fictional onto the low HP Blaze, sending him miles into, well, up to the moon and into Ragnaros's hell, where Ragnaros secures the kill. Malthel going back top lane to get that XP, because that's the job of the solo laner, while Ragnaros comes back and then he's going to rotate back into the bot side, where they're trying to take the camp. Fnatic on the Cassia, taking the siege camp, but is maybe sniffed out here by the blue team.
See a little bit more soak coming through. Blue team looking to potentially invade there. They know Ragnaros isn't with the team. They just saw him walk through the mid lane. A 3v3 grad is on the way, and Hestia just going to look to give this up. No need to lose. Oh, maybe not. Unstoppable is down. Purple taking quite a bit of damage. We're going to see Ragnaros Fort come out here as they look to continue defending. Potato Kenny keeping them alive as long as they can, but in the end, it's going to be another 5% max health gone as Purple falls.
That was so brave of Purple, standing on that point, taking that damage, but the Anduin heal just isn't quite enough. Going with Power of Ward Shield and Moral Compass, meaning that the healing is, well, I would like to think of it as more AoE-based healing rather than single target. We do see the blue team on the bot side securing this camp. The blue team is just so oppressive on this map, absolutely dominating camps, objectives, no, not objectives, but like on point fights, like camps on the bottom point. They're just so good in AoE tight circles. As we see a huge stuck up slow and silence. Oh Lord, Kiribani, where did your HP go?
Trying to get out, they managed to just squeak back into towers. They're going to do a lot of damage to Electra there. Has to try and back away. Lunar is so very squishy. Right now, though, they're having such a hard time getting on top of this. A long-range poke from the side of Team Clio. Gonna have to end up backing away. And oh no! Oh! They took the gambit.
Oh my my god, that's disgusting amount of damage coming out from the Zerg Queen there. Ay, ay, ay. I can see
Objective.
now why she's being banned on all the games.
Oh my goodness. Purple once again getting quite low. Leap of Faith has to come out to save the day. Objective is up and bottom is in hard secured by Team Clio there. They have level 10s once again. Still quite a bit of ways away for Hestia, and they may look to just have to sack this whole fort.
Oh, this poke is very difficult to deal with, especially since they only have one ranged damage dealer on the side of the red team, and the ranged damage dealer is Cassia. That is as short as ranged goes, if that makes sense. She is quite melee heavy. Purple trying to get some stuns in, trying to get some wave clearing. Kobani trying to follow up. Nice route onto the blaze, being tanked there to protect the grad, but the damage isn't quite enough just yet.
Absolutely. Up in the top lane, Malthael has been able to keep the point for the time being. We're actually going to see Ragnaros pop that Molten Core, and everybody's going to back away on the side of the blue team, which, you know, fair enough. They're going to look to try and grab the XP there. This is going to be Lava Wave coming through as level 10 is finally online. Hogger has rotated up. Electra is looking to grab that dragon, and once again, no one will contest, but in the end, Hogger will fall.
Yes! Zagara does die in the end as well. Really nice done there by Princess Vid, but I don't think you can do a whole lot of damage when your only follow-up is a Stukov. Really nice bunker there to ensure that she lives to see another day, but the Dragon Knight is being taken there by Lunara. Sorry for cheering that Zagara died, but damn, she was doing too much damage. That was naughty.
Oh, I'm absolutely behind it. I don't want Zagara in my game. Like, last season, we got Diva, we got Gazlo. Like, those are viable picks. We're going to see Anno and Heroic come out here. We're going to see Silence come through. Big stun from Princess Vid. And look to fight in the back, though. Oh, a kick over the wall. Malthael's surrounded. Going to end up popping like a balloon. Falling sword coming down. Purple better be careful, or they may meet the same fate.
I like this kick action coming out from the Dragon Knight from both sides of the team has performed that now. The red team does get the shred. Poor Fictional in the all chat is going to be very upset about being kicked into oblivion. Dragon Knight is about to fall as the fort focuses it down. Really nice stun there by Princess Vid onto the Ragnaros, but I don't think the damage is just quite there yet, as it is more of a poke comp. Nice tanking there by Purple. Princess Vid popping extremely low. Nice massive shove. Nice stun. Oh!
Olamada or collects onto Kurbani. Just enough is it going to be to does anyone die here? And it doesn't look like it. The fort falling low. We have that Nature's Calling. So finally, in the end, it will go down. And everybody from Clio somehow, no health, no mana, they get away.
No health, no mana, no service. So they have to go back to the core to regen and get that HP and mana back. Johanna and Cassia taking the siege camp on the bot side, and Zagara securing the siege camp on the left-hand side. Lava Wave being picked up here by Ragnaros. Interesting pick. But it clears all the Zerg stuff on the bottom, which is kind of nice. He's like a cleaning lady. Housekeeping. Okay, my turn to break Jinxie now.
I want, you know, Ragnaros needs a skin. Like why not have made Ragnaros, please?
The mop skin on Leo. Sorry, the janitor skin on Leo. We have a maid skin on Ragnaros.
I would give so many dollars to that. We're gonna see a spicy play from the side here of Hestia. We're gonna see Anduin come down. Is interrupted with the Maw comes through. Grad is low though. Malthael pushed back into tower. Johanna gonna be the first to fall. Lunara though will be traded out. This is going to be a red camp secure here. Grad is low. Last right's coming out onto Eves. Looks to be the wrong target there as they were very full health. But still 2 for 1. Make it 3 for 1 as Blaze will fall there as well.
Very nice. There was 2 different fights going on. There was a 3v4 on the side of the bush, you know, battling it out for survival. And then there was an honorable 1v1 with Ragnaros and Lunara battling it out on the point who can secure the camp. Of course, in melee range, Ragnaros wins that matchup and secures the camp on the side of the red team. Really nice comeback for the red team. They're going to be able to push the wall down and possibly the fountain, which would be really nice for the bot lane control.
Just going to even things up really well here. It's just Stukov to defend against these 3. The rest of the team is resurrecting now. We'll see them try and fight it out with Johanna as the top lane is looking to try and secure that. We're going to see Zagara come in so much. In the end, though, Malthea will fall down to Hogger. And now Purple's in a little bit of trouble. They were banking on that Dragon Knight. They popped the Iron Skin, but they're surrounded in an uncomfortable position. Luckily for them, the team is right by their side.
The red team is there on top of Princess Vid. She is a little bit alone, but Carboni has very little mana, really buying lots of time there, Princess Vid, to make sure that Lunara gets the Dragon Knight. Really well played by the Blaze here, controlling 4 members of the red team while her blue team channels the objective. These tank plays.
Pretty gosh darn good day to be a tank here. Malthea will be up to help defend this in a moment. We are going to see, of course, Molten Core come here. Not getting the kickoff in time, so this will keep the fort alive, at least for a little while longer, and really burn down the Dragon Knight if they continue to stay here. Electra losing quite a bit of health. They find the kick. Great use of the Iron Skin, though, by Johanna. Unfortunately, Unstoppable doesn't counter stop, so she goes in. Great use of the Anduin Salvation. Saves the life of Benetti. Anduin sent back to base. Their Falling Sword comes down. Eves has no mana. Princess Vid trying to get him. Dragon does explode. They're looking for the chase. Now Grad is low. Can anyone be stopped here?
Nice secure kill onto Zagara using Malthea ultimate. Cassia ball spreading like COVID in the backline, bouncing on the members of the blue team. But they do trade with Johanna's life as she does have 0 stacks on Divine Fortress. Very, very unfortunate, and she's unable to survive that horrible damage.
A little bit harder with that, less and less health every time through. However, Hestia really biting back in this late game here. They managed to grab that aggressive camp. It looks like they may look to grab their own here instead now. They're actually going to choose to try and finish off this bottom fort finally. So Ragnaros can now use Molten Core on that fort. Better be careful. He's got no mana. And, you're still in a place where you can be ganked with no fort in the back.
Yes, no fort in the back to run away from, but they do have an opportunity to take siege camp. Really nice lava wave being used mid. Zagara rotating bot side as well. They're looking to posture and invade the siege camp. Johanna is back alive to be the tank in the front line, but they opt to get in the waves in mid. They don't want to lose it with the lava wave having pushed in on top of them. They don't want to lose that XP. Really good shot there by the blue team.
Just going to try and continue to take back their positioning on the map. So you look here, we do have that, we actually, interestingly enough, have Mutalisk coming out here. I thought for sure we'd see Corrosive Saliva getting that extra percentage damage on all those Zagara summons. But, maybe the build has changed up a little bit. You aren't able to go the extra health on the spawns anymore, seeing as you want to get that Baneling damage.
Regardless, I think Zagara is in such a scary state that it doesn't matter what talent you pick, you just do lots and lots of damage. We do take a look at the damage stats at the moment, we do see Lunara at the top with 56k, but Zagara not far behind with 54.
Once again, see this bottom camp being taken down here. All 5 members of Team Hestia are down here. I don't know if Team Clio knows this. So they may be at a disadvantage. Blaze does go in, doesn't connect with the stun. Fictional is here. They're coming in hot. Salvation and Falling Sword being dropped. Eves in the back is low, but a 3-man Maw. Malthea the first to fall. The rest of the team running for their lives. Not going to be enough as Ragnaros is next to go. Potato Kinney not far behind him. Purple trying to get out. Fnatic trying to peel for the tank. That's not how it's supposed to go, but the armor is shattered. That it's going to be a 4 for nothing in what looked like a devastating trade for Team Clio. Ends up eating all of Team Hestia.
That was a 4v5, and Zagara, oh my god, Zagara got 3 members of the red team in one single maw, making sure that they absolutely shredded the remaining member that wasn't in the maw. Then after the maw expired, they had to set up to, oh man, it was just abysmal. That was just a wipeout there. Fantastically played. Really nice maw there by Grad to set up the isolated initial first kill and the setup for a triple kill straight afterwards.
Looking rough here for the side of Hestia. They have to run the Iron Skin to stop the Dragon, but the core is falling fast. The rest of the team will be back soon, 60% and counting. Still not level 20. It's going to be rough. Lava Wave comes out. I don't think it matters, though, as that is going to be game number 2. Going over to Team Clio.
GG, well played. This is the first time in the series we get to see a 2-0 game, as most of the games have been very, very close. But Team Clio really good control in the early game, in the mid game, and late game. They understood what comp they had and they performed their comp almost to perfection. Fantastic setup by the Blaze and the Mei in both games to set up for the big Jaina damage, the big Hogger damage, the big Lunara damage, and the big Tychus damage. The damage stats are no joke. But fantastically played still by Team Hestia. It was so close. Small fights that could have gone either one way or the other and could have turned the tide. But it is Team Clio that takes the win in the Olympian series. Congratulations. GG. Well played.
Absolutely. Really well done to Team Clio. I thought for sure Hestia was going to come back there in the mid game. They were finding the picks. They were really dominating that off lane. Turns out, you know, Zagara might be a better man than Vala in the future games because that was a lot of damage. 70k, the next highest. Excuse me, Lunar actually had the most damage, but 68 on Grad. And the next highest after that, 41 from Fictional on that Malthael.
Alrighty-o. That is the final game of the Olympian series. Guys, we are going to have a small break and we will be going to the grand finals of the Titanic division, as I like to call it, or the Titan series, where we get to see the best two teams battle it out in the finals. We'll be taking a small short break. Guys, make sure to stay hydrated, grab a drink, and grab some snacks, grab some food, grab somebody to hold, because it's going to be an exciting final series. Thank you so much, Jinxie, for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me. Well, I'm looking forward to the finals. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in just a little bit.